If you can recall, last week I did an engine that's up here and got it started on a pallet. It was a used one, but we had problems with the injector pump because originally on that engine the injector pump shaft had snapped. I don't know why. Anyway, got it started, brilliant. Thought that's alright. Put it into this car that Nick brought down, this vehicle that Nick brought down the other day from Ontario. Put it in, we did the clutch, he saw that too, and it wouldn't start. It went boom, and then cut out. I wonder why that was. I didn't have any cables attached or anything, so the cable wasn't, you know, like throwing out the cold start mechanism inside the pump. And I think that's its problem, because yesterday I couldn't get it started. I messed about with it for ages and ages and ages. Wouldn't go. I put a good battery on it, wouldn't have it. I checked the stop solenoid, that was okay. I checked the fuel coming out the injector pipes, that was okay. So I pulled all the front cover off to make sure the timing was okay. And that was okay too. So I'm sort of thinking there's something wrong with the fuel. I'm going down a different road again, you see. You see, petrol or gasoline, that goes dead after a very short period of time. You can always tell it because it's very aromatic, is petrol. It's got them strong fumes off it. Well, if you've smelt some petrol that's been in a lawnmower for a year or two, it's awful, it's dead. Does the same happen with diesel? Well, it shouldn't, because it's an oil. There's nothing really to evaporate to make for the combustion process, if you see what I mean. And the tank, I had a look, the tank was 3/4 full. But how long has it been stood there, I don't know. So I woke up this morning at like 4 o'clock and I thought, right, I'm going to boss this job. Anyway, I did get it started. New battery on. And it spluttered and farted and messed about. But I still don't know what the answer is. Well, I think I know what the answer is. I think I know what the answer is. I've got a sneaking feeling that perhaps the cold start mechanism in the pump is jammed, because the timing's exactly right, or there's something wrong with that cold start mechanism. I don't know why. Now, I've had this running without a radiator on, and I don't really want to run it much more, but what I'm going to do this morning is box it all up, because I stripped all the front cover off to have a look at the timing marks. I thought, oh, maybe I've made a mess of the timing marks. I pulled the valve cover off thinking, oh, maybe the valves have gone wrong. Well, how could that happen? But that's sort of leading me down that trail now of thinking, oh, maybe it's the pump. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to box it up and I'm going to put it outside and I'm going to run it. I'm going to run it and leave it idling. But the problem with that is I've got to find a fan. But being what I am, I might just rig up an electric fan, just temporary, to pull the air through the radiator. And I've got the coupling for the viscous. This is another viscous one. I've got the coupling, but I ain't got no fan blades, unfortunately. I don't know what happened to them. So that's the plan for today. So I'm doing this video now so you can watch it later. You know, like at the end of this video, and we'll see what the difference is. Maybe sometimes these engines just need a bloody good running. You know, it's had a new fuel filter on it. I've purged out all the lines. The lift pump works fantastic. I had a lot of problems with the wiring. Oh, bloody hell. When I first came to it, I couldn't get it. I couldn't even get the starter to click yet. We knew it was working on the pallet. Anyway, turns out that there wasn't a ground strap on the engine. It's usually at the back on the gear, on the transfer case, and it's Siamesed up to the battery and the chassis in one wire. Well, that wasn't on. So I made a new wire and that was it. It solved an awful lot of problems too, because there was all sorts of lights coming on because they were going backwards, if you see what I mean. When you've got an engine that's on rubber mountings, it's completely isolated and insulated from the chassis. So I don't know how they managed to get away with it before. I'm going to put some body mount chassis, grounds on it as well, just in case. But we'll see about that, because You can't have enough grounds on, especially on a diesel. So that's my plan for today. I'm going to box this up and see if there's any other problems with it, and then we'll come back later and see what the results are. Hopefully a good idle, or a good fast idle, will clear it all out. The clutch feels great. I have no problems with that. And yeah, I don't think it's going to be a problem. But this car's probably the worst one of them all. It's been well bodged up, and I think they're only just going to use it as a farm vehicle. But it wants to start all the same, doesn't it? So, but if it doesn't start today, when it's about, well, it's about 18 degrees this morning, but if it doesn't start now, what the hell chance has it got when it's, you know, -5? It's never going to go. So we'll come back later on this video. So I got it all boxed up and put some water in it. I didn't put any antifreeze in it because I think something's wrong with it. Anyway, boxed it all up, took it for a run up the road, and it's got power, but by God does it smoke. And it knocks. It's got that diesel knock, very, very heavy, which sounds like timing's off in the pump. On the pulley wheels, everything's perfect. Remember, this is a turbo diesel, and I think what's happening is it's putting too much fuel in the engine, one of the two. So I suggest we're going to take the pump off and send it for overhaul. Well, not overhaul, but just recalibration. It does work, but it wants calibrating into a naturally aspirated one. I can spit it out. So I think that's it. Gearbox changes, a little bit knocky, but well, not too bad. We'll change the oils, change the axle oils. We have to do a little bit of a repair here. Let me take the camera off and I'll show you. Here the wing is all bent up, look. And this catches the tyre when it's in reverse and just bends it out of all proportion. It looks like it's had quite a bit of a twatting, really. Maybe they bent that up to get to the bolts underneath here. They are a bit rough with these vehicles. Just having a quick look round it, it's been stood a long time. The pads look okay, but I'll have to see what the pistons are like. There's no leaks or anything like that underneath it, but I don't know if you can see under here that the footwell is pretty much toast. It's not a very good bulkhead. And just talking about not a very good bulkhead, look at this repair. I've actually welded one bulkhead top onto another. Wow, I've never seen that done before, but I've never seen it done that rough before. Let's have another look around, see what there is. I'm going to have to pull these back brakes off it. I can't even push this car. I can't even move it, so do that. This is the ground I was talking about. So there's a ground wire on there going to the chassis, and there's a ground wire at the back going to the battery, so that's all nice and good. All the bushes seem nice and tight. The exhaust nice and fastened on right. No rot in the rear cross member, but there will be very soon, because look at all the mud in there. That wants washing out. A couple of lights missing. Nothing. Again, all nice and tidy underneath here. Nothing to report. Well, like I say, we'll drop the oils out, do the diffs, do the prop shafts. Tank looks good. Well, it isn't leaking. Yeah, no, it's not a bad little truck. You know, it's a good project car for somebody, but it hasn't been looked after. I'm sort of amazed how they've cut that bulkhead top off. I wonder what's happened to it. And the door pillar's had a bit of a life. Anyway, I think this is going to be used as a bit of a farm truck, so it's not too important. The steering suspension's all nice and tight. So I'm going to drain the oils off, and then once that's done, once the oils are changed, the swivel balls are perfect like they usually are. Once all the oils are changed, then I'll take it outside and I'll take the pump off and send it to Quebec City to get it overhauled, or put on the test bench and set up, because I have the original naturally aspirated pump parts. So I think they're clever enough to swap the bits over, but it's just not right, and it really knocks, you know, so it's over fueling, not good. But power wise, not too bad. Well, power wise is going to be good because it's got too much fuel. Anyway, it's not right like it is. It's working, but it's not right. Right, okay, so I think that's it. We'll get on with the service of that. There's nothing really much to report apart from, you know, that was just a quick look round. And we'll report back in a week or two when we get the pump back. See ya.